notes to make sure I don't miss anything. Good afternoon. My name is Tamani M. Wandani. I am a contributing member to the Black Gold Nation movement. I am the direct revolutionary product of one Cardinal and Bayou Chewy, the Shrines of the Black Madonna, and an indirect revolutionary product of one Albert B. Clegg, Jaramogi Abebe Ajiman, the founder of Liberation Theology and the founder of the Shrines of the Black Madonna of the Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church. That is my revolutionary lineage, if you will. I'm here as a contributing member of the Black Gold Nation movement. Our ultimate goal is to create communities that have influence, value, and power for Black people so that we can do our own thing under our own banner as we see fit. If you have an issue with the word Black, I don't care if you use melanated, carbonated, POW, African American, ADOS, foundational Black Americans. I don't care the term you use. I'm referring to the people that were brought here in the holds of slave ships, and or those persons who were already here and were caught up in a civil war and were made to be prisoners of war. So it doesn't matter how you define the term Black. That is who I am talking about, and that's who our focus is always geared toward. The title of today's live broadcast is Without Our Own Institutions, Operating Within the Confines of Our Own Systems in the Communities That We Own and Control, We Will Never Win. Again, without our own institutions, operating within the confines of our own systems in the communities that we own and control, we can never win. The critical question is, how do we accomplish these goals to make the above statement a reality? How do we make it so that we can, in fact, have our own institutions operating within the confines of our own systems in the communities that we own and or control? There are a lot of things that we need to do to make that happen, but there are concretely three things which I will go into detail after I give the reality of what it means to be Black in America. I do this because I want us to be on the same page as far as where we're coming from. I give this brief snapshot that I'm about to read to you. I give that so that we'll both have the same understanding as far as our starting point here in America and things that we have to deal with right now in 2019 moving forward. The point of giving the Black reality in 2019 is so that there's no confusion. There is no ambiguity. There is no lack of clarity, if you will. I want to be straightforward. I want to be honest. Everything I say can be researched. It can be Googled, and you can see what I'm talking about for yourself. But it's important that we understand that we have a specific reality here in America that's that is linked to our people around the world, that if we don't deal with this reality of what it means to be Black in 2019, then it's not going to go away. It's not going to get any better. And in fact, it's going to get worse. And we have to understand that nobody's coming to save us. Ain't nobody coming to save Black America. Ain't nobody coming to save Black Africans. Ain't nobody coming to save Black people, African people, Afro-hyphenated people in the diaspora. We are on our own. We have been attacked as a group by the non-melanated world. And by the evidence of everything that exists right now in 2019, we lost that attack. But the war isn't over. We are most certainly still here. We have come through the fire. Those of us that are still living right now today, we are the offspring of, I'm not sure if it was the strongest, but we are most certainly the offspring of some of the strongest people that have ever walked the planet, because we've been through the fire and we're still here. We need to say that with a badge of honor, because not every person of color that came into contact with European people are still here. As I like to say in our introductory presentation, when Europeans got to the shores of North America, there were over 500 Native American nations, and you'd be hard pressed to find a solid, healthy 2 or 3 today. That is by design, that is on purpose. So we need to take pride in the fact that we're still here, but we need to use the fact that we're still here to move ourselves forward and do our own thing and build something for ourselves and our children as we seek to implement a 100-year plan that's going to build power. So the Black reality in 2019, I've categorized this in a number of areas. The first one is the Black family, where I give you a brief snapshot of what our Black families are facing in 2019 and then I just go down the list. So the Black reality in 2019, the Black family, 50% of our households are worth less than $1. Of our children, Black children that live and exist in America's inner cities, because of the levels of physical, mental, and spiritual violence and trauma that exists within those cities, a major study has shown that some 46.5% of our children, Black children, suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, which is a condition that's normally found in some 11 to 20% of persons who have been to actual combat. Our children, Black children, are exhibiting symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder at twice the rate of people who have been to combat. And of course, this has made it extremely difficult for them to learn like other kids, build relationships like other kids, and of course makes them more susceptible to depression, suicide, and drug use. As of February 2017, every state in this country was investing more in juvenile prisons than schools. We have to deal with a school-to-prison pipeline system that is alive and well and highly functional. We have to deal with an education system that's never probably educated our parents. Those of us that are over the age of 35 right now, our generation, our children, and every Black child to follow. We have more African American men incarcerated in the United States than all women incarcerated worldwide. There are more brothers in prison in the United States than all women incarcerated on the planet. And of course, this has created a significant shortage of Black men in our communities, which directly affects the strength of our relationships, our families, and the whole and safety of the community. We have to contend with a multi-billion-dollar prison industrial complex that you can buy stock in that has absolutely nothing to do with criminal justice. That is the category of the Black family. What does it mean to be Black in America as it relates to Black ownership? Black farmers are still being discriminated against. Federal judges have ruled that the USDA has systematically denied Black and Native American farmers loans and disaster payments. Over the past century, Black farmers have lost some 80% of their land, only owning some 5% of the 2 million farms in America right now. Today, the author of the study observed that farmers of color were disproportionately affected by obstacles in transferring land ownership from generation to generation, which resulted in land being lost, and a large majority of that was by theft. The category of the threats to the threats and predation of our environment where we live. The USDA, via the usage of GMOs, genetically modified organisms, is seeking to replace how natural and organic foods are grown to control the food we consume globally. If other people can control the food that we consume on a global scale, and those persons have proven to use food either by poisoning it or denying it to people in need, do we have to worry about them doing the same thing to us? Our contention in this movement is yes. If you can't control the growth of your own food and the distribution of it, then those that do control those things control you. That's a problem for us. Food deserts, which is defined as an area that has limited access to affordable, nutritious foods, exists in almost every predominantly Black community in this country. Purge activity, which is defined as assassinations, murders, kidnappings, organ and sex trafficking, crimes committed in Black skins and Black masks and skins, are taking place in every major Black community in this country nationwide. Purge activity is taking place in every major Black community in this country nationwide. 75,000 girls and young Black women are missing. Some people think it's due to sex and organ trafficking. That is the reality of what it means to be Black in 2019. 75,000 Black women and Black girls are missing, and no one knows what happened to them. Brother Joshua Brown, who was a key witness in the Botham Jean murder case, was assassinated. At least 6 Black Lives Matter activists from Ferguson, Missouri, are all dead. Portland police digitally removed tattoos from a man's face to make him look like a suspect, and he was subsequently arrested for a crime that he did not commit because it made him look like a suspect. We have to deal with a criminal justice system that's always been unjust, a bail bond system that's always been unfair and unjust. We have to deal with redlining, gerrymandering, and gentrification, which is political power working at its finest against us, not for us. Over the past decade, the annual estimates of the number of gangs in the United States is approximately 27,000. And of course, we know gang members, they don't just commit crimes to make money or to fund their operations, but they also prey upon the people in and around the area where they exist. So of course, we have Black people in gangs preying upon other Black people. And that's not to say that all gang members are doing the same thing. That's not to say that all gang organizations are about the same thing. But we know that A large number of them do prey upon the people in the community, which is a problem that we have to contend with because, again, nobody's coming to save us. 90 to 95% of the top rap songs in 2019 promote materialism, drug use, misogyny, the murdering of black men, self-hate, a false sense and negation of reality, a slave culture understanding and promotion of success, and a self-destructive, niggerized culture of mental, physical, spiritual, and psychological slavery. It's been 5 years since Flint, Michigan had safe water to drink, bathe in, and use. The next category is our livelihood and future. And if you don't know, if you're just coming into this thing, I'm giving you a brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America and around the world in 2019. This category is our livelihood and our future. Automation, artificial intelligence, and machine language is replacing millions of jobs, and African American communities are projected to be hit the hardest. A recent report by McKinsey & Company has projected that by 2030, African American workers stand to lose hundreds of thousands of jobs as a result of increased automation, which is going to widen the racial wealth gap and weigh down overall U.S. growth. Automation, AI, and machine language is projected to affect millions of people in this country, and the majority of those persons are projected to be people of color. The White House is removing over 300 million people from the food stamp rolls. 700,000 of them are projected to be removed in the next few months. And of course, we know that there are more white people on food stamps than black people, but that doesn't mean that our people aren't going to be affected by this removal. That goes to the point that America is changing, and those changes are not pro-black, nor are they nor are they pro-poor people. Over 900 white supremacist organizations in existence right now in America, and many of them are training for a race war. That is, of course, a problem for us because we have not been training for a race war or to defend ourselves from the results of a race war. There have been 324. The last time I did this, actually that number is incorrect. It's more than that. Let me get this number right. There have been 387. The last time I did this live broadcast, it was 324. 387 mass shootings in America since the beginning of the year. The Department of Homeland Security in a recent study has found that state and local law enforcement agencies nationwide have been infiltrated with neo-Nazi members and started secret terrorist cells to develop and terrorize Black and Latino residents. Again, this is what it means to be Black in America in 2019 and around the world moving forward. The Donald Trump administration, under Jeff Sessions, has reinstituted the privatizing of federal prisons, which of course means that there is a profit motive. Under President Trump, the FBI's official counterterrorism priorities have included Black identity extremists, anti-authority extremists, and animal rights and environmental extremists. They are not including the group that has committed more terrorist attacks in America since 9/11, which is white men over the age of 25. That is the group that they are ignoring in their counterterrorism priorities. Again, this is what it means to be Black in America and around the world in 2019 moving forward. Excuse me. The Donald Trump administration has refused to label and pursue. Actually, they just recently changed this. They were refusing to label and pursue domestic terrorism by white identity extremists on the same level as foreign terrorists. And although they have changed that verbiage, there is no proof that that is what's actually happening. Approximately 25.4% of the American population in the U.S. identify themselves as evangelical Christians, and over 25% of them, some 20 million people, support Donald Trump. That's a problem for us because Donald Trump has proven himself to be a liar, to be a misogynist, to be a bad business person, to be a racist. He's done a lot of bad things, and people who consider themselves to be Christian are ignoring all of those things, and they are supporting him because for them, it is not about Jesus, Christianity, loving your fellow man, doing good things. It is more about power. That's why they ignore what he's done because he has given them the feeling that he is building power for them. What's sad about that is they don't understand that Donald Trump is for the 1%, not poor white people. Donald Trump retweeted a quote from a right-wing pastor. That quote stated, "If the Democrats are successful in removing the president from office, it will be a civil war-like fracture in this nation from which our country will never heal." And groups like the Oath Keepers and the 3%ers, they responded to the president's retweet. And these are armed militia groups. The president retweeted that quote from a right-wing pastor, and militia organizations responded to the president's retweet. And their response was, quote, All you have to do is come out on Twitter or national media and call us to arms. And we will show the world once again that America has the largest freestanding military with weapons and firepower that they can't even begin to imagine. You will have an army at your side at a moment's notice, Mr. President. All you have to do is say the word. So we have the President of the United States retweeting a racist a statement about there being a civil war type split in this country if he's removed from office. And you have right-wing identity extremists responding to that retweet saying, Mr. President, just give us the call and we will show the world what is up. That's the President of the United States doing that. And that is some of these 900 plus white supremacist organizations who have been training for a race war responding to their president. It is a problem for us. The Department of Justice has proven that cities like Baltimore and Chicago have engaged in a pattern, quote, engaged in a pattern and practice of conduct that violates the First, 14th, and 4th Amendments. The First Amendment allows the freedom of speech, religion, the press, and the right to assemble and petition your government. The Fourth Amendment allows for protection from unlawful search and seizures, which means the government can't just, or the police can't just search your person, your body, whatever you have, or your house. And the 14th Amendment allows for citizenship and equal and legal rights for African Americans and slaves who were emancipated after the American Civil War. There are over 100 conservative think tanks who are focused on maintaining white supremacy and white power. That's a problem for us because we don't have any black think tanks on the same level or the same amount focused on black power and black survival. That's an issue for us. A court just ruled that DeRay McKesson, one of the leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement, has, quote, no First Amendment defense in a Baton Rouge protest. Someone at a protest that the brother helped to organize threw a rock or a bottle, some object at a cop, hit the cop in the face or the head. Cop was injured. They are suing DeRay McKesson, saying that he has no right, no First Amendment rights that they have to respect, and they are looking to charge that brother with a crime that somebody else committed, despite the fact that he didn't do it, and they know he didn't do it. And lastly, the Donald Trump administration has repealed civil rights protections all across the country in HUD, in Commerce, and many other governmental departments. So that is a brief snapshot of what it means to be black in America. That's a brief snapshot of what we're up against in America. That's a brief snapshot of the systems that have been built to keep us in a second-class status, and that's a brief snapshot of the predators, regardless of color, that exist in and around our communities. We have some serious problems that we have to deal with. We have some serious issues that we have to deal with. We have entities, forces, groups organized against us, and they have been successful in achieving their goal of oppressing, terrorizing, exploiting black people. As of right now, 2019, the black community exists in large measure to make everybody else money, to make everybody else's level of comfort greater, to make everyone else's lifestyle better. People come from other countries to America, to the black community, open businesses, suck the resources economically out of the community, disrespect, degrade, demean the people. And they've been doing it for a very long time. If this is going to change, it's only going to be us that changes it, because again, nobody cares about black people. Ain't nobody coming to save us. So the question is, how do we do that? The title of the live broadcast again is "Without Our Own Institutions, Operating Within the Confines of Our Own Systems and Communities That We Own and Control, We Will Never Win." The critical question is, how do we accomplish these goals to make the above our reality? I've just given you a brief snapshot of what it means to be black in America, giving you a brief snapshot of what we're up against, what we're facing, some of the things that are destroying us. And I am saying that the only way we're going to push back against all of that and give our children a snowball's chance in hell of surviving, not by appeasing other people, or not by working other people, but by standing on their own two black feet, coming to the table, the world table, the global table, with power. How do we do that? Most people would agree that everything I just read, that brief snapshot, is bad. Most people would agree that we need to come together and unify. But very few people know how we do that. I hear people talking about that all the time, agreeing with what I say, agreeing with what other people say, but not doing what they can do to actually make the issue of unifying a reality. And I think that's because we clearly don't understand understand our people and what we've been through and what we're dealing with. So how do we accomplish these goals of having our own institutions within the confines of our own systems and communities that we own and control? We need a lot of things, but concretely, we need three things. One, we need people on the ground that are ready to do. Simply talking about the problem is not going to change it. Trying to make a video go viral, it's not going to change it. I'm so tired of people sending me videos. Oh my God, let's make this go viral before they take it down. Oh my God, make this go viral so we can change whatever the hell. Making a video go viral is not going to change anything. Trying to highlight the evils of other people and what they've done to us and what they're still doing to us is not going to change anything. We need people that want to do more than talk. We need people that want to do more than make a video go viral. We need people that want to do more than share information on social media, all of which is okay, but it doesn't change anything. Everything I just read on that brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America in 2019 moving forward, you can talk about that stuff all day long. It's not going to change anything. You can post a video about it all day long. It's not going to change anything. You can make a video about each and every one of those things, trying to make it go viral. And even if it does go viral, it's not going to change anything because those that are in control of those things don't care about your video going viral. We need three things to change those that information that's in those videos that we want so badly to go viral. The first thing, again, is that we need people on the ground that are ready to do. We need people that just want to talk. We need people that just want to share some videos. We need doers because there's a lot of work to be done. The second thing we need is leadership that's on the same page as it relates to the ultimate goal of building power for Black people in this country and around the world. We have to redefine what leadership is in 2019 moving forward. We have to stop giving Black people the title of leadership just because they can maneuver the white man's political system or just because they can give a good speech or a good sermon. We have to stop having these cults of personality in that we're following people who don't have our best interests at heart just because we like them. Us liking them has nothing to do with our survival in this country and around the world. So we got to have people on the ground that are ready to do, and we have to have leadership that understands the ultimate goal of building power, and they know how to critically push back against all the ways that we're being attacked. Again, the Black community exists for other people to get rich and wealthy and oppress and exploit. Those predators in and around our communities, they're not going to leave if we don't give them a reason to leave. No predator leaves where they eat. No predator leaves where they drink. No predator leaves where they lay down, mate, and or call home. There's no reason for it. If they're doing well, why leave? We have to give the predators a reason to leave. We have to make it very difficult for them to exist within our communities and within our environment so that they have to leave. We have to make it impossible for them to be successful based on the exploitation of our people so that they have no choice but to leave. But we can't do that without having leadership in the position of all the areas whereby we're being attacked. We're talking about leadership in agribusiness, leadership in city planning, leadership in security, leadership in intelligence, leadership in spiritual development, leadership in psychological healing, leadership in political strategy, leadership in foreign policy, leadership in information technology, leadership in economics and finance, leadership in culture, leadership in the development of children, leadership in construction, leadership in STEM training, leadership in the arts and humanities training, leadership in the trades training. We need leadership in all of the ways that we're being attacked. We need leadership in all of the ways our communities are being denied so that we can create for ourselves a closed loop system of Black power that's going to protect us from the white power that's been exploiting us since we've been here over the past 400 years. And that has been exploiting our people since they came into contact with our people over 600 or 700 years. We have to understand that that brief list that I just read isn't going to change if we don't change it. We have to understand that everything that we're up against is going to remain the same if we don't come together and change it. And I am saying to you that to make that happen, we need a lot of stuff, of course, but concretely, we need three things. One, people on the ground that are ready to do. Two, leadership that understands what needs to be done and have the expertise to train people on the ground how to do. And thirdly, we need a way to protect all of it. Black people aren't going to win if we don't have people on the ground that are ready to do. Black people aren't going to win if we don't have black people that know how to do, so they can train the people on the ground how to do it. Black people aren't going to win if we don't have a way to protect all of it. If you did not know, let me be the first to tell you that every single thing we've done as a unified group to move our people forward in this country has been targeted for destruction and destroyed on purpose. We may not understand the power that we have if we come together, but other people do. That's why they work so hard to keep us from coming together. So we have to have systems of security and defense around our leaders, around our doers, around our children, and around our communities. And we have to be able to chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. I hear people saying that we have to get our economics right first. I hear people saying that we have to get our education right first. I hear people saying that we have to get our spirits right first. I hear people saying that we have to feed ourselves on our own 2 feet first. I hear people saying that we have to heal the black mind, spirit, and psyche first. All of those approaches are wrong. We have to do all that stuff simultaneously. We don't have time to do one at a time. We don't have time to do one at a time in a particular geographic location in this country. We don't have time to do one at a time in a particular geographic location or in a particular community, because all of our people are suffering from the same stuff at the same time. As I say to some of the brothers and sisters that I communicate with outside of the U.S., we're dealing with the same white boy, different accent. They're all cousins. Same enemy, different accent. We can't just focus on Houston because Detroit, New York, and Chicago are suffering. We can't just focus on Detroit because Sacramento, West Virginia, New York are suffering. We can't just focus on Baltimore because Atlanta, Detroit, Dallas, San Francisco, LA, Las Vegas, suffering. We have to move simultaneously as an octopus with as many tentacles as we can get, because our people are suffering from the same oppressive system, and we have to work in a simultaneous fashion to push back against all of it. We don't have time to do one community, one city, one state at a time. We don't have we don't have that luxury. And yeah, it is unfair, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So if we don't find people that are ready to do, to connect them with those that know how to do, and then protect both groups as we move forward, black people are going to make it. If we don't have people on the ground that are ready to do, as opposed to talking and posting and sharing videos on social media, black people aren't going to make it. If we don't have leadership that knows how to do, that loves black people, and is ready, willing, and able to train black people on the ground around the country how to do, we're not going to make it. And if we black people don't implement systems to protect both those groups at the same time, black people are not going to make it. I don't care about what you do personally. I don't care about what kind of job you have. I don't care about your level of education. If you are out here trying to do your own thing as an individual, just for you, your family, your group, your tribe, your organization, whatever, you're not going to make it. Because we have too many things stacked and organized against us that make it impossible for you to make it on your own. We absolutely must understand that our greatest strength is unity. So we have to find black people who understand that and who are ready to unify. Again, the title of today's presentation is live broadcast is Without Our Own Communities. Within the confines of our own systems, within our own communities that we can own and control. Without our own institutions, within the confines of our own systems and communities that we own and or control, we're not gonna make it. We do that by having people on the ground that are ready to do, by having leadership that's going to show them how to do, and then a way to protect every facet of that doing, because it's not a question of if it's going to be targeted for destruction, it's when and how, because it's what this government has always done to our people. So what we are doing in the Black Gold Nation movement is what we've always done from day one. We're looking for doers. We're looking for Black people who want to do something. We're looking for Black people who have three very, very, very important characteristics. They can still critically think. They have not given up. They're still thinking, and they still want to be a part of something. That's the first thing. They're still critically thinking. We're looking for Black people who are either unafraid or won't let their fears stop them. And thirdly, we're looking for Black people who want to be a part of a solution, who want to do something. We are having this coming Saturday, December 14th. Oh, wait, is it the 14th? I think it's the 12th. Let me make sure I get my day right. This Saturday, December 14th, we're having something that we've been preparing for the past 2.5 months, called the Survival Summit. So what we're going to do this coming Saturday is we're going to have our leadership introduce themselves to the national Black community, give a brief overview of their solution as it relates to to their particular area by which Black people are being destroyed, and invite people to be a part of our solutions-oriented movement. In July of 2017, we had a Black Gold leadership election, whereby we put out the call to Black people nationwide, and we said we're trying to build a nation within a nation, but we know we cannot do that without leadership. Black people answered the call in numbers high enough that we were able to have an election. We literally sent Black people to a website to vote for leadership in this movement. And from that point to now, we've been critically working with the leadership, people who've been coming on board, back office, organization, implementation of systems and ideas. And we're now ready to roll out those solutions to Black people nationwide. But a Black person having a good idea is not enough. A Black person having a solution is not enough. A Black person having the expertise and understanding is not enough, because I need, you need other Black people to make it happen. No movement can move without people. And as my post stated yesterday from Asada Shakur, no movement for Black people can survive without the support of Black people. We have the leadership. We have the strategies. We have the expertise. We have the experience. What we need is more Black people who are ready to do something, as opposed to just talking about the problem and or sharing videos. I have a very, 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 very unique and fortunate and blessed background, in that I have lived in a community that was 100% owned and controlled by Black people for over 20 years. My children were raised in that kind of community, so I know what it means to live in an environment that's pro-Black, with nothing but Black love, with serious Black leadership, serious Black security, serious Black programs with a serious Black mission. Within that 20-year period, there was only one police officer on the property in 20 years of this Black community, and that's only because we called them. Taking my background with the backgrounds of our leadership, and we have solutions that can completely change the landscape for our people moving forward. The leadership that we have in this organization is absolutely phenomenal as it relates to what they do and how they do it. From information technology to political strategy, to agriculture, agribusiness, city planning, economics and finance, foreign policy, security, nation building, construction, infrastructure development, STEM training and education, systems organization. The leadership, the caliber of leadership we have in this organization is visionary, capable, proven, and is ready. But what we bring to the table will never matter if we don't have people that want to be a part of what we're bringing to the table. So we're looking for Black people who want to do something. Again, not just talk about it, not just share videos about it, not just post on social media about it, but put something in place to do something about it. If you missed the beginning of the live broadcast, watch it from the beginning and listen to the brief snapshot of what I give as it relates to being Black in America, what we're up against, what we're facing, the enemies, the predators, the enemy systems. We have work to do. Nobody's going to do it for us. So we're looking for black people who want to help us make this happen so that we can not only do it for ourselves, but so that we can put our children in a position to win. Our children aren't going to win if we constantly are giving them to our enemies to educate, train, and employ. Our children aren't going to win if we don't give them something, their own platform by which they can have power, exist in an environment that's pro them, exist in an environment that protects the black mind, body, spirit, and psyche. We need to give our children something whereby they can come to the global table of nations with power, so that the respect they deserve, they will have. We absolutely must understand that power is never given. Power is never shared. Power is always taken, and power only respects power. Everything we need to build power, we already have as a people. We're not intellectually, physically, spiritually, or economically deficient or inferior to any person on this planet. The only two things we lack concretely is organization and connectivity. We're not connected to one another, and we're not organized. So if we're going to push back against the very real threats that we're facing in America and around the world, we absolutely must find black people who are serious about being part of a solution to move our people forward and build power. We need three things: people on the ground that are ready to do, leadership that knows how to do, and a way to protect both. We have the leadership. What we need is the people, so that leadership can train, and then collectively we'll protect all of it. If you are a black person that wants to do, not just talk, not just share videos, not just try and make something go viral, but if you are a black person that understands that in America, in Africa, in the diaspora, around the world, we are in a bad spot. If you want to help make some things happen to move our people forward, protect our children, protect our women, our elders, and our brothers, if that is you, you need to be a part of this organization. Because although there are several nation builders out there, I don't see anyone doing it like us, with our background, our leadership, our connectivity, our organization. That doesn't mean they don't exist. I just don't see any like this movement yet. And of course, we love and respect all nation builders, and we need those allies. I just don't see anybody with as complete a solution as we have. So we're looking for black people who want to be a part of building something for our children to move our people forward while protecting our people at the same time. This is an absolute must do, because again, nobody's going to do it for us. So if you want more information about the Survival Summit, go to our events website, blackgold-wakanda rising, and click on Survival Summit. That takes place this coming Saturday, by which we are going to have, I think, up to 10 presentations, 15-minute presentations, brief ones, given by our leadership. So you can meet our leadership, you can hear about their solutions, and you can decide if you want to be a part. We're covering 10 to 15 different areas by which the black community is being attacked, and we are inviting you to be a part. It's only $4 for the entire event. You can register online at blackgold-wakanda rising to be a part of this historic event, whereby we're talking about, I'll take that back. We're not just talking about how we're going to survive in this country and beyond, but we're giving you concrete solutions as to how we're going to make that happen, and we want you to be a part of it. If you want more information about the Black Gold Nation movement, simply go to our website, blackgoldnation.com, click on the bio, read the mission. If the mission makes sense to you, go back to the events website and RSVP for the Survival Summit this coming Saturday. My goal is to have 100 persons at each Survival Summit event, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, and we probably won't finish until 5 p.m. Every 30 minutes, there's going to be another presentation talking about a different aspect of our survival in this country and around the world. We're looking for black people to help us roll out these solutions, because again, no movement moves without black people. No movement moves without people, and no movement for black people can exist without the support of black people. And we need black people to help us make this happen. We have issues that we didn't create that we have to deal with. We have to organize ourselves so that we can build power for ourselves. We have to connect ourselves to one another so that we're not trying to reinvent a wheel that a black person already has. We have to put systems in place that will allow us to protect our doers on the ground as well as our leadership. We have to put multiple layers of security around our children because our children are born with targets on their backs. We absolutely must have our own institutions within the confines of our own systems that exist within communities that we own and or control. If we don't have institutions that we control within the confines of our own systems, in our own physical safe spaces and communities that we own and or control, we are not going to win. I don't care how good a person's plan sounds. I don't care how much sense it makes. I don't care how logical it is. If we don't have our own institutions within the confines of our own systems, in our own communities that we own and or control, we are not going to win. And to do all of that, we have to do a lot of education. We have to do some cultural redefining and creation. We have to do some spiritual and psychological healing. We have to do some physical securing. We have to do some planning of food. We have to do some building of buildings. We got a lot of work to do. But our solutions exist within our problems. We need leadership. Black people got leadership. We need money. Black people got money. We need physical security. Black people know how to secure physically. We need physical labor to build what we're trying to build. Black people have physical labor. There is nothing that we don't have. The only things we lack as an overall group is connectivity and organization. And of course, the Black Gold Nation movement is bringing that to our people so that we can move. So thank you guys for taking time to be a part of this live broadcast. I most certainly appreciate it. If you haven't already liked us and followed us on Facebook, please do so. If you haven't already liked us and you are not following us on YouTube, please do that as well. We are looking to, of course, always branch out and have our organization on more social media platforms. And of course, everything takes time. It's another reason why we need more Black people to be involved, because we need more people to do what needs to be done moving forward. So this coming Saturday, December 14th, is it 12th? Let me make sure I get my days right. This coming Saturday, December 14th, starting at 10 a.m., we're going to have the Survival Summit. Every 30 minutes, we're going to have a different area of our national leadership departments talking about a different facet of our survival. And we want everybody to be a part of that so that you can not only learn more about the movement, you can meet the leadership, ask the leadership questions, see what we're talking about doing and decide if you want to be a part of it. The solutions are concrete. The experience and expertise is real. And the answers are viable. It's just a matter of finding the right Black people so that we can roll them out. So thank you guys for being a part of the live broadcast. I sincerely appreciate it. Please share this with 5, 6, 7, 10 Black people so that we can get them to the Survival Summit, so that we can make this thing a reality. The brief snapshot that I read as far as our reality in 2019 moving forward, none of it is made up. All of it can be Googled, vetted, researched, and none of it is going to change if we Black people don't change it. So again, thank you for being a part of the live broadcast. I appreciate it. Please share this. Please like us on all our social media platforms. And always remember 2 things. No one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And number 2, always, always, always remember that nothing is more sacred than the liberation and salvation of Black people. So with that, thank you guys very much. God bless. I hope to be in touch with all of you real soon as we have this Survival Summit this coming Saturday. And together, we can build a new reality for our people and our children moving forward if we simply decide to make it so. Thank you very much. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.